Hello everybody, my name is Dani Hawley. I'm a stylist at Roseanne's Hair Studio in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. This is my awesome model, Susan. She's going to be helping me out, just, being a model, letting me get her hair cut, highlighted. We're going to be playing with some new shades today, and that's really kind of the purpose for this video. Shades EQ is celebrating an anniversary, and so they've come out with some new shades. These are their cream shades. We got 5GB, 7GB, and 8cc, which is a copper. Looking forward to playing with that. And then in their gloss, we have 07 and 05cc, also the coppers. And we now have GGs, the golds, and there's a 06 and a 08 in that. We'll also be playing with some classic shades, some of the reds, the red violets, and kind of take it from there. The inspiration is for the fall. I'm using kind of leaves as they change. We have kind of the whole full spectrum of the reds, the oranges, and the yellows. So we're going to create a whole new look. What we're dealing with is box color, so I'm actually going to start by pre-arting her hair with Redken Pre-Art. I'm going to put her under the dryer with it on for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to put cleansing cream right over top of it and shampoo it out. That's going to kind of get the buildup of any over-the-counter products in there. That's going to get that off of there. It's also going to even the porosity of her hair so that everything I do moving forward will be taken evenly and kind of more predictable results. So stay tuned. We're going to come back with some more results here. Alright, so we're back, and I basically just gave her a haircut, lots of layers, some disconnection on the inside of the haircut to give her movement when she walks around and moves around. I just blasted her dry just because we're going to be putting color on her now. So obviously, once the color comes together with the haircut, the finished result will really kind of show off those layers and that movement. I cut her first because I wanted to color to complement the haircut. So sometimes I think we need to maybe rethink the order in which we do things, because I didn't want to color her and then end up cutting off maybe a piece of color that I really liked, but it needed to come off because it was, too long or didn't look right or whatever. So now the haircut's done, I can color it the way that it is now, and I know everything I put in here is going to be cool. So the first thing is I'm going to do a touch-up with Shades EQ Cream Cover Plus, which can be used with 10 or 20 volume. I, however, am just using it with 10 volume, Pro Oxide. We'll get that in there, alright? I'm using the 5GB, which is one of the new shades that rolled out. And it's a really great color for someone who doesn't have gray. She does not have any gray at all, because it's not an alkaline color, so it's very gentle, very shiny. There's no odor, and on top of that, if you use the 20 volume, you can actually get up to one level of lift, so you can even get a little bit of vibrancy out of these colors, but you're not going to get a heavy line of demarcation in the outgrowth, so it's a lot more forgiving. And for Susan, in our consultation, we talked about the upkeep, and we want something that's going to be very graceful and forgiving in the grow out process. So I'll get back to you in a little bit when we start doing the highlights. Alright, so we are back. I have done the footwork now of touching her color up, refreshing her ends, and I put some foils in. I'm going to change the view of the camera so that you can see kind of how that came out, but I'm actually going to be using the pre-lightened hair now to go back in and play with those fun colors that we talked about earlier. So, quick thing before I change the view and get you kind of closer to see the evenness of how this turned out. I used Flash Lift, which is a Redken powdered lightener, and it will lift up to 8 levels in a flash. I definitely love this. It created a very even lifting with her. And again, part of that is because we went in and did that pre-art treatment. That's huge for evening out the porosity of the hair so that her hair can come up in even results as well. I used the Flash Lift with 30 volume Pro Oxide. You can use it with 10, 20, or 40. I chose 30 because I knew that she had some box color in there and it was on the darker side, and I wanted to get her as light as possible so that her hair would take the color that I'm trying to put into it. Once I rinsed her out, I went in and did a cat treatment. And we're not talking about the furry animal. It's CAT for cystic acid treatment, which in short is just a gas that can form when we do chemical processes to our hair, and it can kind of get in between the disulfide bond, which is the bond that matters the most when it comes to chemically changing our hair, and sometimes things won't take evenly, or they may not last as long if that gas is there, so that treatment actually helps kind of get that gas out of there. So now I'm going to go back in, put the color in, and we're going to get a much better, more even result. Alright, I'm going to change the view of the camera. Alright, so as you can see, very even results in blonding. I just shook her hair dry, so it's not polished at all. We didn't use any product or anything. But I just want to kind of take you around so that you can see how evenly this lightener came up with that dark box-colored hair. And I just want to mention too that the colors were kind of not completely even when we started. From scalp to end, there was a lot of lighter spots, darker spots, you know, lines of demarcation, and I'm really pleased with how this lightener came out. As you can see, I did more of an ombre kind of effect with her because, as I mentioned before, we are looking for low maintenance, and so I feel that, you know, this can kind of grow out with her. She can just touch her regrowth out, you know, up, and not have to worry about redoing this. So now we're going to use 6 different colors, and I'm going to be mixing and matching them within one foil. So I'm going to show you a close-up shot of like what I mean by that. But I'm basically going to be creative with each different foil. There may be 2 colors on one foil, you know, side by side, diagonally, or, you know, vertically, horizontally, whatever. Or maybe I'll do 3 colors in one foil. It's just going to kind of go that way, and that's going to give that whole effect of leaves and, you know, different colors kind of working with each other. I'm going to be using violets, red, copper, and gold. So really covering kind of the full spectrum from dark to light, and what happens with our leaves as well. And, you know, it's going to be a pretty cool look. I'm excited for you to see it. So what we're looking at here is a couple of different colors, as I said, on one foil. So, like, for instance, right here in this little section here, that is the new gel, and what I did was I used the 0.5cc and the 0.7cc together equal parts to make a 6, and that's what that is here. And then down here, this is 0.3RV cut with crystal clear. I wanted to lighten the dye a little bit so it wouldn't be quite as dark as a 3. And then I came back over and used actually the same 2 colors right over here, but if you've noticed, they're more on a diagonal here. And then at the very tips here, this is the Shades EQ Cream Cover Plus 6RR. I used it with 20 volume for vibrancy reasons. And then this whole thing right here is 0.7V Violet, and that one's called Amethyst. So as you can see, there's a lot of colors going on here in one foil, and because I don't want to disrupt the placement here, I'm going to take a second foil and just place it right over top, and I'll kind of flatten that out and stick it on there better when I stop filming here. But the reason why is because we don't want to fold this foil up and then have things get all, like, you know, mixed together and meshed. So you know, we want to keep the separation going. So more to come. Alright, so we are done, finally. We've been here for a long time. This is a complete makeover. So since I last came on camera with that foil with all the crazy colors going on, I went ahead and finished covering the rest of her blonde up with, you know, the same technique. Some foils I only did 2 colors, some foils I did 3. You know, it kind of just varied from foil to foil whatever I felt like doing, really. So there's no right or wrong way. If you were to try something like this, you could even maybe do like one foil, one color, the next foil like back to back, a different color. You know, you can really play with it and make it your own. So after we did that and processed her, then in between, I went ahead and did a Redken Chemistry System shot, which is a customized blend of whatever ingredients you feel your client's hair may need. For me, I used Extreme, which looks like this, and that is pure protein, baby. So very important. I also mixed in some Clear Moisture. This is great for balancing moisture if you don't want to add weight to the hair. Susan has very fine hair and very straight hair, so I was not interested in using anything that was going to be heavy. So the Clear Moisture is just enough to still give the hair what it needs without kind of weighing it down. The last thing I put in there was Color Extend, and it's kind of in the name. So, you know, 5 minutes, all of those things blended together, gave her a nice little scalp massage, why not? And then we have 2 different fix phases, and these are, if you notice the 3.5 at the bottom here where my finger is, that's the pH of this spray. That's really important because when we color hair, a lot of times we're taking it out of its comfort zone. We're all naturally acidic. A lot of colors are alkaline, or like some of the lighteners we use, the decolorizers. So they're swelling the cuticle, and you know, it can take 2 to 3 days for that cuticle to come back down on its own. And a lot can happen between now and then. You know, that hair being vulnerable, you can put it in ponytails, it might break, you might go swimming, maybe you go to the ocean, I don't know. Tons of things. So in order to kind of minimize the hair's vulnerability in the next 2 to 3 days, we took care of it right now by kind of balancing the pH, bringing it back down from an alkaline and swollen place to an acidic place that it likes to be, closing that cuticle down, making it nice and shiny, and also helping lock in the color and the ingredients that we put in the first part of that shot. So that's just a little bit on that. That is, again, the Redken Chemistry System. I am going to change the view of this camera again and kind of get you in closer to her hair so you can see the finished result and see some of the different colors and how they're interacting with each other. It's quite natural looking. It's not crazy confetti style. It's really, I'm happy with how it came out. It's still wearable to her job, which is like a desk job in a conservative type of office. But you know, if you wanted to make it crazier, you could go with chunkier pieces, and like I said, you can really kind of take this wherever you want to take it. Alright, so here we go. We're going to change the view. Alright, so here we are. This is one side of the hair. I'm trying to get in there nice and close. So if you notice, I mean, this is your GGs here, the gold. Unfortunately, the lighting in here is a little suspect, but if you can pick it up, there are some areas here where you're going to see, you know, brighter reds, maybe some shades of violet, orange. So what you're seeing in the brighter reds, that is that 6RR in the Cover Fusion, I'm sorry, not Cover Fusion, Cover Plus Shades EQ Cream. And that's the 20 volume again for the vibrancy. And then, you know, like there's some spots, if I can just try to get the lighting to pick them up a little bit better on this camera. If you can see that like red violet, that was that 03 RV that I had mentioned I cut with crystal clear, just to make the dye load a little bit less so that it would be a little bit lighter. Unfortunately, our lighting on this side is not as great, but let me just kind of pick that hair up. You can kind of see all the different things that are going on in there. When it's let down, though, it's very pretty soft. Definitely kind of really came to life the way that I wanted it to. So, you know, I will definitely be putting this in some kind of collage with leaves to kind of show the inspiration behind it. And, you know, this was really fun for me using the different shades, the new shades of, you know, in the gel, or gloss rather, and the cream. So we put a little bit in her bangs. I'm just going to lift your head up a little. There we go. If you can see some of the colors kind of working through there as well. Cool, you're good. All right, we're going to change views again here. So thanks so much for watching this video, and if you would like to have some of these colors done in your hair, you can go to Redken.com's consumer site. There's a spot there where you can put your zip code in, and the Redken salons in your area will be pulled up. You know, you can obviously reference this video if you'd like, and that's about all for now. So thank you, Susan, for being my awesome model and, you know, being so patient through this huge makeover, you know. And thanks for watching. Have a good day.